Hello, we encourage you to vote yes on both City Proposal 1 and City Proposal 2, sponsored by TC Taxpayers for Justice. Proposal 1 will require voter approval before the city enters into any new tax increment financing programs, TIFs, and before the city extends any TIFs. Proposal 2 focuses just on TIF 97, the city's oldest, biggest TIF that covers the main downtown area. Proposal 2 will prevent the extension of TIF 97 without voter approval. Something we need to understand about TIFs and Traverse City is that Traverse City is a small tax jurisdiction and much of the property in the city is exempt from property taxes. This means that the effect of tax increment financing programs is magnified. And TIFs do increase our city property taxes and have increased our city property taxes. Right now, our city property tax rates for all taxpayers in the city are more than 20% higher than what they could be without the TIFs in the city. Let's look at the last fiscal year we have. In the 23-24 fiscal year, the city's budget required $13.9 million of net property tax revenue in order to fund the city budget. But that year, the city's TIFs between them took $3 million from city general fund tax revenue. This meant that in order to get $13.9 million for the city's budget and for the general fund, the city had to raise $16.9 million through its property taxes. Property tax rates were raised by more than 20% to do that, and that's where we stand today. The taxes diverted by tax increment financing plans grow relentlessly. Each year, more money is diverted from city property tax revenues as well as from property tax revenues of the other affected authorities like the county, NMC, Beta. Adding new TIFs or extending existing TIFs will only exacerbate the problem. Right now, the DDA wants to extend TIF 97. This is our oldest, biggest TIF. Let's look at a couple of graphs. Our first graph here is a line graph depicting the growth in tax revenue diverted. This is just city tax revenue diverted by TIF 97 from the beginning of the program in 1997 to the present day. In that time, the amount diverted started at zero, but in 26 years, it has grown to about $2.2 million. A second graph we have shows something quite alarming about the plan to extend TIF 97. In the 26 years to date, TIF 97 has diverted a total of $17 million from city tax revenue. It's bad enough at that level, and it's increased our property tax rates by more than 20%. But if TIF 97 is extended the way the DDA proposes to, by the DDA's own projections, the amount of taxes diverted over the next 32 years will be $121 million. On this bar graph, the blue bar depicts the $17 million diverted to date from city tax revenues by TIF 97, and the red bar, drawn to scale, depicts the amount that would be diverted over the next 32 years. It's 7 to 8 times as much. Imagine the strain on city finances if that happens. Property taxes will have to increase considerably. The city's going to have trouble funding city services, or probably both. And unless we pass city proposals 1 and 2, it's probable that TIF 97 will be extended by December. The DDA approved the extension in mid-August and sent it on to the City Commission. The City Commission has not yet addressed it or scheduled a hearing, probably because of our proposals on the ballot. But if proposals 1 and 2 do not pass, we could expect the City Commission to pass and the extension of TIF 97 probably by the end of the year. The DDA has claimed in a lot of these glossy leaflets that you've probably had mailed to you that if Props 1 and 2 pass, city taxpayers may see property tax increases. That claim is false. All that proposals 1 and 2 do is require voter approval of new TIFs or extended TIFs. Proposals 1 and 2 do not change any existing TIF, and they do not change existing city cash flows. The DDA has opposed giving voters a say on this, giving voters the right to vote on whether we adopt new TIF programs or extend them. We disagree with that position strenuously. The DDA claims, well, these things are complicated, voters can't understand them. That's nonsense. We already and recently have voted on tax measures of similar complexity. In August, we voted on a very large millage and bond proposal for the local schools. We didn't feel any need to look at all the blueprints, look over all the bond documents. We looked at the ballot language, we read about it, and weighed the benefits and the costs of what the schools were asking for. It would be no different with dealing with the extension or not of any TIF program or the adoption or not of any new TIF. We're adults, we can handle it. We face important choices now in Traverse City. How willing are we to tax ourselves heavily? How do we want our tax money spent? We should pass proposals 1 and 2 and give ourselves the right to vote on these important questions. Thank you.